Hello, friends. This is John Connor III with episode 110 of Shadow and Flame with Magic, the podcast. And today we're going to review X-Men Volume 6 that started in 2021, issue 31. So let's get to it. Brr, 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 brr. And we are back in the fall of X. ShadowKate's all over this issue. This is written by Jerry Duggan, art by Phil Noto, VC's Clayton Cowles is the letter, Tom Muir and Jay Bowen is the design, and I'm getting the Carey Andrews cover that has Lockheed and Nightcrawler bamfing the team, ShadowKate, Miss Marvel, and Wolverine. And the cast is Talon, Sync, ShadowKate, Nightcrawler, Miss Marvel, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Nimrod. The recap's titled "Keep It Together," but the issue title, oh man, I'm like you and Jeff over here, "The Passenger." In the wake of Orcus's brutal attack at the Hellfire Gala and the subsequent ruthless anti-mutant campaign, Sync and Talon have stepped up to lead what remains of the X-Men to protect every mutant that they can. Currently, one of the biggest threats that Orcus is hanging over mutantkind's head is the kill code embedded the cocoon medicine distributed around the globe, turning every human saved by the miracle mutant medicine into nice alliteration there into a walking hostage. With the help of their allies, Talon and Sync concocted a plan to steal the High Evolutionary's bioweapon that was designed to sterilize humanity and reconfigure the technology to deliver the cure and free Orcus's unknowing hostages. The mission was a success, but at a great cost. Talon was killed, her consciousness only saved by Sync using Jean Grey's mutant powers to latch onto Talon's mind and pull it into her own. So good recap there. So the issue opens up with Sync and Talon on a bench because the X-Men love their park benches at the moment. Talon's telling him to let go of her. I feel bad because I do not I like Sync, I like Laura, but I don't know Talon. Like I missed the whole Children of the Ape Vault story because I'm of the mind that if it's not Mike Carey, then I don't need to be reading about the Vault or Shadowkate, nor Magic, nor Lockheed was in that story. So it's a pass on me, dog. So he is in a fetal position. Kurt and Kate are putting a blanket over him. And I just love the two of them together. And Kate's like, what isn't wrong with him? He hid that he was aging rapidly while sinking from muscle memory of mutants who were not in his presence, and Talon didn't return from Counter-Earth. I think he popped bone claws and thrashed his bunk, and then he didn't have Talon's healing factor to sew him up. And then she puts a wet cloth over Sink's head. Now he's fighting an infection and his blood pressure's through the roof. We may have to risk taking him to the hospital. I wish you had good news. Meanwhile, Miss Marvel and Spider-Man are on the roof trying to make the Higher Evolutionaries medicine ball go around. And it's still very awkward that they must have at this point talked about Spider-Man apologizing to Miss Marvel for getting her killed in his comic, and then she's like, well, no problem, boss. I'm a mutant now. I was hatched on Krakoa and it all worked out. Except it didn't work out because we've been hunted by Orcus ever since. So, it's a scene I wouldn't mind happening. Phil Noto draws a great Spider-Man. And so they're bantering. And then all of a sudden they find out, oh yeah, Spider-Man says the cursed words, this is fun and easy. And then Nimrod takes over their systems like, hey, I found you. And Miss Marvel's like, Nimrod's onto us. And Spider-Man slaps, face palms, I jinxed it. And that's pretty funny. And then Talon realizes something's wrong. Sync needs to go away as the whole world's burning around them. ShadowKate says, Sync, Nimrod's found Miss Marvel. But the High Evolutionist machine still needs to finish a good chunk of North America. If you can hear me, don't let Talon's sacrifice be in vain. I know you're holding on to her, but there's going to be a lot more dead X-Men unless we both get in the fight. And ShadowKate grabs her sword and goes up through the roof and sinks this like thinking he can do everything. Spider-Man webs up the computer, hoping that maybe that will stop Nimrod from destroying it, and they can keep processing. Nimrod shows up and punches Miss Marvel and Spider-Man in the face. Kurt bamps Nimrod to the ground, hoping that would unsettle him, but with a Hulk thunder clap of a Scott rock-a-boom, Kurt gets flown away. We have a Wilson's bridal shop behind him, which I can imagine if you see Wilson, must be Wilson Fisk. Okay, imagine if his last name was Frisk. Like, oh boy. You see ShadowKate phasing. I was like, what's the word it's called? And then ShadowKate says, got an Achilles heel in there, ugly? And then, like, puts two swords right into his Achilles heel, except he's a robot, so, I mean, he has heel shapes, but I don't think they work like heels. And then ShadowKate, I don't know, this panel is funny. I don't know what it is. I know some people are complaining online about Phil Noel's artwork, but I mean, I think it's, I like it. So I don't know what their issues are. I mean, I do sure wish Joshua Castanera was doing next issue with the ShadowKate Magic and Loki reuniting finally after years, but I'm sure Phil Noto will do perfect. I was completely wrong. I'll say that now that this issue does not have a final page review of Magic and Loki being like, "Yo, Kate, cheer up," as I desperately would have loved. I don't know. There's something about the way I guess it's the image of like it is. It looks like she's just casually walking away, and he's like, "Get ready to get trucked." And Spider-Man says, "I feel bad for whoever's truck this is," and he just rams into Nimrod, but it looks more like the truck takes the hit. And then Nimrod just grabs Spider-Man by the throat and like lifts him up over his head like he's gonna break his back. And then Nightcrawler bamps him away. Kurt has a cool mustache goatee situation, and they bamf into a trash can. No reference to any Uncanny Spider-Man situation or Silver Sable updates. That would have been fun. Nimrod's electrocuting on the ground. This one guy tries to go like "F you, giant robot," and Miss Marvel grabs him and like brings him to back to everyone else because he's like, I appreciate it, but you don't need to get involved. And then ShadowKate goes through, and I recognize it's ShadowCat with a K, but if you're going to say K, they might as well call her ShadowCat. Phases through Nimrod's like, I've been thinking about different ways to kill you, Nimrod. Looking forward to the experimenting. He's like, your ability to disrupt technology worked on the lesser Nimrod, Kitty. I'm the greater. I didn't shoot my shot yet. I just want your dead eyes on me. And then Wolverine comes down, and this looks very kinetic. Kinetic was the word I wanted. Like the other panel looked like Kate just like casually walking across the street, where this looks like Logan's coming down and just like slicing Nimrod. Which then Nimrod just like grabs him from his shoulders and throws him on the ground. And then Logan tries to then scratch his legs, and it's like, all right, I don't know why you guys are doing this. Meanwhile, across the city at Manhattan's Hellfire Club, the X-Men had made an unlikely ally in Wilson Fisk. His wife, Typhor Moy, had been missing since the mutant massacre of the Hellfire Gala. And a goon comes in. Well, actually, a police officer comes in and tells Fisk that they found someone he'd be super interested in, and it's Mary, but not in her typhoid um form, so just Mary. And someone online did say that she's been back since Gangland, which is a storyline going on Spider-Man right now. So clearly, Realm of X has ended earlier. Because I was like, oh, like everyone's back right now. It's like, well, no, technically they're all back. And Danny's been back in an Infinity comic that I need to do better about reading Infinity comics. As far as I know, no ShadowKate Infinity comics just yet, or Lockheed, or Magic. And Mary wants to tell him desperately about what happened in Realm of X. And Fisk is like, Mary, I don't want to hear any of that. I'm just glad you're back. So I'm calling it right now. If Magic doesn't come back with some type of light powers compared to like Limbo powers, then Realm of X was completely pointless and nothing came of it. Because by the time we see Saturn 9, that she's going to be onto her new scheme, so even that's not going to matter. But it is great to know that Mary and Kingpin are back. The fall of House of X spared one pair of lovers, while another faced alliteration. Nope. And now elation. Big difference. And Talon is finally being like, hey, time to let go now. As he set her mind adrift, the longest romance in X-Men history finally ended, which I know is also irksome X-Men fans, X fans about, like sure, they were together for thousands of years in the vault, but you know, if you didn't read the vault, then you don't like no one's making a top 10 X couples relationship list and then adding Sync and Talent at number 10. Like, unless, and feel free to create this 10 list and then find me on Twitter at JackoSII and be like, look, top 10 list. And yes, if you're going to add them at number 10, please add Kitty Pryde and Colossus at number 1. And I'd be like, I see you. I'll give you a follow. Good job. Squeeze in whoever you want between 9 and 2. More power to you. One day we might have Katyana, but not now. So with a kiss, she drifts away. He wakes up. Sync pushed the sorrow away and let rage fill his heart. His friends would need it. And so Spider-Man's trying to thip Nimrod's arm, and Nimrod's right hand is crushing Logan's face while he is punching Nightcrawler away. And Kate's saying, let go of them. And then Nimrod punches her in the chest. And I guess whenever he punches someone, he gets, he has a little pink power effect, which is cute. And the Sync comes down. He syncs up with, or he calls forward, Storm's power. Though some people are like, well, he might have used Surge's power. But I'm like, why would he have used Surge's power? It's clearly lightning from the sky. For a moment, Sync became a god, plus that line. So it's clearly Storm, everyone. But he only managed to slow Nimrod. And Nimrod's now talking in ones and zeros, the binary, if you will. And then Sync stands with the whole team, well, except for Logan, who's on the ground. And it looks like Sync creates limbo portals. She doesn't have a fun sound effect. And he says, the next time you see me, you die. And then Nimrod tries to shoot the ground, and they're gone. They're now in, I can only imagine, the Canadian wilds. And Spider-Man's there, so I guess he's in the book for a little bit. Kate's looking around. Kurt puts his hand on Sync and goes like, thanks for saving us. Talon? No, she's gone. And next, the return of Polaris and fall House of X number 2. And then we have the image for next cover, which is Magic and Ilya, or no, which is ShadowKate, Lockheed, and Magic. Lockheed in a cute little circle on the ground. So we get the Shadow, the Flame, and the Magic. And a checklist, Dead X-Men 1, which came out last week, and I have an episode for that. Wolverine 42, we're skipping. X-Men 31 is this issue. Fall of House of X 2 is out this week. So ShadowKate's on the cover, so hopefully she's in the issue itself. We have Wolverine 43, Rise of the Powers of X number 2 out next week. Also out next week is X-Force 46. And I'm releasing this on Sunday the 12th, so I'm talking, oh yeah, next week, because Fall of House of X 2 is this week. Dead X-Men 2, I'm excited about. Resurrection Magneto 2. I don't know if Kitty Pryde will have a flashback moment or not, but that'd be fun. Cable 2, which I really liked in Wolverine 44. And that, everyone, is X-Men Volume 6 that started in 2021, issue 31. So let's go to Marvel.com and see what comics are out this week. Pause for effect. So then Amazing Spider-Man 43, which is Gang War. Wolverine 43, which is Sabretooth War, which apparently Comic Book Queer's Legacy said it was 10 parts, so, ugh, like so many parts I'm just skipping. Oh, speaking of which, other podcasts, congrats to Oh Golly, Oh Gosh, Oh Wow for hitting issue 125. I haven't listened to it yet, so I don't know if they announced what's next for their doctors, Anna, Mav, and Andrew. But can't wait to listen to it. And what an amazing 3-year ride they gave to us as a wonderful gift. It looks like everyone's involved in Gangland. And usually when I look at my phone, I type in all variants, like the variants come with the main titles, so that hasn't happened. Hey, Spider-Gwen Smash 3, which I had as my number one X comic for a long time, is finally back. So I'm excited about seeing what that is. Fall of House of X2, Polaris is definitely back in a Magneto style outfit, which is fun. Night Thrasher 1, which promises to not be the new Warriors title we want. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver 1. Fall of House of X 1 variant cover with Mark Brooks. And then the Rise of Powers of X 1 variant cover, that's the companion piece. One has Cyclops' hand, and the other one has his full body. ShadowKate is on the Fall of House of X1, but no Lockheed, and I'm very at the point of like, if Lockheed's on the variant cover, then fine. X-Men 30. Oh no, this is last week. Wait, it couldn't be last week because Rise of or Fall of House of X2 is on here, so I don't know what's going on this website. But let me see any other titles coming out. I don't see any. Oh man, Sensational She-Hulk 5 has a bunch of variant covers. But I find it hard to believe that Fall of House of X 2 does not have any issue. Oh yeah, Ultimate Black Panther came out last week too. I don't know what's going on this website. Okay, so I didn't say filters, so that's what happened there. But I did say show variant covers, and I only got the one, like two actual variant covers, so we're good. So yes, Spider-Gwen Smash 3, House of X, Fall of House of X 2, um, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver 1, the Mark Brooks variant cover. Oh, these are the two variant covers that finally came out. And those are the combined covers. Night Thrasher 1, and a bunch of Game War titles. And Darth Vader is out still. So many issue 43s, which I find fun. So everyone, that is the issue or episode. If you would find me on YouTube at Jacko SII, I did around another episode of X-Men versus Avengers versus X-Force, XAO, no, XAX, episode 3, Magneto versus Cyclops. I'm pretty proud of, but I would like to get more views on it. Don't know what happened. I guess last week was very popular, and I'm not sure what I did. But hopefully people find it, and I would love to get some new subscribers as well. So ask a friend, and we'll love to get new subscribers to this podcast and get some listenership. So please, now this word of mouth really helps the podcast and YouTube channels grow. I mean, you can follow me on Twitter as well. This is all things Jacko SII, and I'll talk at you next time for Rise of or no, for Fall of House of X2. If ShadowKate's in it, if not, we'll just do the the second Spider-Woman tie-in I have planned for Madam Web. I'm sorry. And today was the Super Bowl, and we have the Deadpool trailer. And it looks like Patch is in there, and Wolverine showed up at the very last second. So I can't believe we're going to get Patch and Wolverine in a movie. I wonder who they're going to cast for Patch. And someone pointed out that Pyro's in it from the original three X-Men movies. So actually, no, he's not in X3, right? He's just in the first two. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that all plays out and what new footage we get. So, and leaks, of course. I'm gonna try not to follow too many. Pretty much, I just want to know if a Pride shows up, Kitty or Kate, and how that works out. And now that I'm thinking about it, it'd be nice if Patch was whoever's going to be the Wolverine of the MCU, but um, so that's just a couple thoughts I had initially about the Daredevil trailer, and glad the Chiefs won. And thank you everyone for listening. I'll talk to you next time. All right, everyone. Bye.